Welcome back into We Know Ball. I'm Connor Fuchsa.
I'm Melissa Brandon.
I'm Mason Bello.
Now we finally got the full desk back. The past 2 weeks, it's just been two of us. So now we got the full desk back. But last week, even without you, Alyssa, we still went 7 minutes over time. So.
Yeah, I thought I was the yapper over here, but apparently it's Mason. So.
Whoa.
Just saying.
I think it's Connor. He's
No,
in
you're
both
right.
shows and they've gone over.
It might be me.
Yeah, you're the common denominator.
Well, because as the host, I'm the one that has to introduce all the topics, but then I also want to give my opinion on them, so I chime in.
No, we know you chime in.
Oh, yeah. Well, besides the point, we're going to start off with Monday Night Football last night. A great game between top teams in the NFL, Detroit versus Baltimore. Let's just start there. What are y'all's initial opinions after last night's game with Detroit getting the win?
Detroit is back.
He's back.
Yeah, that first week 1 loss where they were blown out by 20 or 30, that said nothing about the team that they actually are. And no Ben Johnson, no Aaron Glenn, but it's the same identity. It's the same Dan Campbell identity. Bite your kneecaps off. We're gonna drive the ball down every time, score a touchdown. And they did. I mean, they let up a lot of points to the Ravens, but at the end of the day, they were able to punch the ball out and out of Derrick Henry's hands and score the last touchdown there. So I think the Lions are legit, and that week 1 was for sure. We always talk about flukes with week 1, and I think that week 1 loss was a fluke for them for sure. And this offense, it feels like it's just the same as it was last year. So.
Mason, you kind of had a confused face there for a second.
Well, what was that?
Yeah, I do want to chime in and say it wasn't a fluke. I mean, the Packers are a good team.
I don't know.
They're probably
the Browns.
It's not a shot to the Packers.
No, they're probably gonna lose both times to the Packers.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's close. It's close.
But
the Browns just beat the Packers by 3.
But I think what Alyssa's saying is it's a fluke, not because they lost the Packers, because of the way in which they lost.
I'm talking
they scored,
about
6 points before the last garbage time touchdown to Tesla.
The way their offense performed in week 1 was a fluke, obviously, because of the way they performed versus the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens are one of the more elite defenses in the NFL. So
now let's talk about that real quick. We're going to get into that then. We all said preseason the Ravens defense was going to be one of the top, if not the top defense in the NFL. They haven't looked it so far. I mean, they gave up 41 to the Bills week 1. Now they've given up 38 to the Lions. I mean, if you asked me all season how many times they'd give up 30 points, I'd say maybe 2 or 3. And they've already given up 2 in the first 3 weeks. Are you concerned? I mean, some of it, yes, is the fact they're facing 2 elite offenses, but I mean, it still hasn't been the start you would have wanted out of this defense.
Yeah, I think it's definitely really unexpected. I think they have, like you said, they've faced really tough opponents in their first 3 games, so I don't think that 1-2 record says a lot, but I think you would expect more from this defense. The fact that the Lions were able to run the ball so well on them, on the Ravens as they were, is a little bit concerning about how they're going to perform against other offenses like that. But, yeah, Malachi Starks, didn't see a lot from him. They were without one of their defensive linemen. I think his name is Metabuke. So that's, a factor. But, yeah, not a good look.
Yeah.
I think, ultimately what this game came down to was the Lions didn't beat the Ravens. The Ravens beat themselves.
I feel like that's the story every time.
I feel like...
Well, it is,
yeah.
But I don't think it's this defense's fault.
Really?
I think this defense has just played 2 really, really good, solid offenses.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Josh Allen and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I mean, one's better than the other. But what I'm saying is, you have the Lions who have been to the playoffs the past 2 or 3 years. You have the Bills who've been to the AFC Championship the past 2 or 3 years. So you get these really good teams, these really good offenses, and then we're going to sit here and say that the Ravens defense is a hollow shell of their former selves? No. I think they have just played good teams, and we need to see further into the season how this defense is and how I guess the Ravens can stop beating themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's hard for me about this is, again, it's not the fact that they've given up points to elite offenses, because that makes sense. It's just how much. If you're giving up 28 points to the Lions, I say it's a good game. I'm not knocking you for that. It's the 38. If you give up 30 points to Josh Allen, I'm not really knocking you, but you give up 41, and especially how they fell apart at the end of that game. I mean, that was a little bit the offense's fault for leaving him out there. But what also is interesting to me in this game, I mean, they lose the turnover battle. Defense doesn't force turnover. They get out-sacked Detroit has 7 sacks. Baltimore can't even get 1. They had 0 sacks in the game. That, to me, feels like a defensive issue. If you can't get a sack or force a turnover the entire game and you give up 38 points, I don't care what offense you're facing. Like, that is a bad game.
Yeah. 100%.
In my opinion, at least.
But it's also they missed their heavy hitter on defense. Medebuke is a seasoned veteran who is really good on that D-line.
They still should be able to sack the quarterback without him.
No, and I'm not saying it like...
and the Detroit Lions had a guy out on the interior offensive lineman, and they were still able to bully them all over the place with their defense.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, we know that they don't have the strongest linebacking core. Maybe that's one of their weaknesses, and that's what they needed to get a sack in this game because their D-line was definitely not doing anything.
Yeah. I think what concerns me, too, is talking about the run game. The secondary, I think, will be fine, and I think the secondary still looked fine. I mean, they gave up some plays they probably shouldn't have, but they looked fine. But giving up, 250 yards on the ground, it is Gibbs and Monty again, but Ravens last year were the number 1 run defense in the league. They gave up 80 yards a game. They gave up 80 yards to 2 separate running backs, and technically Monty doubled that with 160.
Yeah.
So they gave up almost 260 yards rushing on the ground. Like, that isn't this Ravens defense. And that's where it just feels like they're just not playing like themselves.
Yeah, it feels like their identity is shifting a little bit. It doesn't look like that same Ravens defense that we've always seen anymore.
Yeah. But I still think they can get it together. I'm not saying it's over for them. It means week 3. But it is something that's putting up a little red flags about my predictions for Baltimore for the rest of the season is how this defense has performed so far.
Well, because if they, this is a greatest simulation of a playoff game that you can get. Like, this is what they're going to face in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And if they can't win these games, I know it's only week 3, but if they can't win these games and they don't have the defense that's cut out to do that, then they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl like they want to.
Yeah. Now, also what needs to clean up, which I think we all will agree is Derrick Henry's fumbles. Like, I don't know what's happening there, but he's the only running back in the league with a fumble in all 3 weeks. Feel bad for him?
I feel bad for him because I know, like, I've been in that situation. Like, he's not that I've
You
been
fumbled in a big game against the
I'm saying in sports, you've been in that situation where you're trying so hard not to do something and you're focusing so much on it that sometimes that's the actual problem, is that he's probably mentally thinking about that every play that he steps out there. And maybe that's actually what's hindering him, is that there's just so much focus on that. Because he talked about it after the game. He's like, I'm trying so hard. I'm really trying to correct this, and it's just not working.
Yeah. I'd agree, but then also, in this game, he should be securing the ball more then. At the end of the game, when he's running that ball and Hutchinson punches it out, again, he's just got it in one arm, just in his weaker arm, his left arm, and he's just running, trotting. He doesn't know what's behind him, obviously, but, he didn't. Usually I feel like he has a presence of knowing what's around him. He just didn't even seem like he knew Hutchinson was there and was loosely holding onto the ball in his arm. Yeah. If you're worried about fumbling, and you've had a fumbling problem these first 2 games, I'd have 2 hands on that thing. Especially if you're Derrick Henry, bro. You put 2 hands on that thing, bear hug it, and just run through some people. That works. So, I definitely... I do think it is his fault so far. And
I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm just saying I literally feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But now I guess the question is, this was our 3... All 3 of us picked the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
1 and 2 start. I don't think that's what any of us expected. I had them going 3-0, but I could obviously it makes sense they lose 1 to either the Bills or Detroit. Losing both those games, and especially in the fashion they did, especially that Bills one, are you questioning your pick?
I'm not. I still, as much as I had some issues, I guess there with their defense, I'm still confident that they can make it to the Super Bowl because this is really early. Mm-hmm. And they have a little bit of an easier schedule going forward. Next week they face the Chiefs. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
After that, Texans, Rams will be a tough one. Bears should be relatively easy. Dolphins should be relatively easy. And then I'm just confident in their division that they can stand out.
No, they probably go 6-0 in their division.
Right.
With no Burrow for the Bengals. I'm not a big Steelers hype man. I don't think they're going to be that good this year. And, obviously they've already beat the Browns once. So
yeah,
that's 6 wins at least they get.
Yeah. And then that secures them a bye. Mm-hmm. And so they get a little bit of an easier path. And I think by that point, they'll have fixed. We saw the same thing with their defense last year. They had defensive issues in the first half of last year. Mm-hmm. And they patched up some of it in the second half. So I have faith that they can do that again. Yeah.
I think it just worried me because they did patch it up, and then they added some new really good pieces, and how have we reverted back to where you looked at the beginning of last season?
I don't know. But patching up process has not come to fruition yet.
Yeah.
Well, I think when it comes to the Ravens, and you guys, I'm not going to shout you guys out or anything, but you guys are really overreacting right now. to the defense, the troubles. It's week 3, guys.
I'm still saying they can make the Super Bowl.
I know.
I'm still saying.
I'm just like,
and I said they can get it together, but I'm just saying to this point they've looked bad. That's not even an opinion. That's a fact. They've looked
think
bad.
they look pretty good in these losses. These are good losses. They're not getting blown out.
They're good losses, not good losses for the defense. Good losses for the team with Lamar putting them on his back.
Yeah, it's good losses when you put up 30 points, but you gave up 38 points.
But when you watch Lamar play last game, especially,
yeah,
he looked like a chicken with his head cut off. In that fourth quarter, scrambling around the pocket, he can't get rid of the
football. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Bad thing.
Okay.
I mean, Lamar didn't have his best game. Yeah. He had 2 plays. I mean, he should have had an interception in this game. He had 2 plays that really should have been picked off.
Yeah.
That Detroit just dropped. His pocket presence, it felt like he was trying too hard to pass and not run. One of his best weapons is his legs. And it felt like when the pocket started collapsing, he'd step up, think about running, and be like, no, I need to pass. Oh, wait, I guess I should run. And he just didn't feel decisive. If he just took it onto his legs and ran a lot more, I think they would have done a lot. I mean, of the 7 sacks, I mean, if you probably looked at the stat sheet, I think 3 or 4 of them were literally 0-yard sacks. It was him just as he was escaping because he just took too long to get out of the pocket.
Yeah, it was a lot of hesitation, second guessing kind of thing.
But I still wouldn't put this game on him. I mean, Henry, the fumble, again, crucial fumble, and then if your defense gives up 38, you can't blame the quarterback, in my opinion, if he didn't turn the ball over and do that.
I understand that, but I don't know. I just think that's what happens in these big games. These big games usually are not 21-14.
Yeah.
At least in the regular season. Defense. I mean, playoffs are a different beast. Playoff good games are 24-21. But
yeah, I mean, we saw it. I mean, it first started happening. Chiefs, Rams, 2018. That what was
the
it,
Mexico game?
Yeah,
yes.
56-52. That's when at first I was like, okay, this is probably going to be the new norm for the big games.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when it comes down to it, a great offense is better than a great defense.
In current modern NFL, it's how it's set up to be, yes.
So
that's a good take, actually.
Quarter a day.
Quarter a day.
But yeah, I'm not worried about the Ravens at all. I think they could definitely go 5-1 in their division. I think they drop one stupid game like they always do.
Yeah.
But they also get to play the AFC East. So
yeah. Well, then my final question before we move on to this game, because we've talked about it a lot, but it's the biggest game of the weekend, are you worried at all? We had this conversation after week 1 that the Ravens just can't close out these games. It feels like this has been the storyline for years of, oh, they were so close. Oh, they played better, but they beat themselves. Oh, they were the better team, but this happened. Or, oh, they were right in it, but then right at the end, Mark Andrews drops the 2-point conversion. Or, they were up 14 against the Bills, but Derrick Henry fumble. Or in this game, we were tied in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go, and then our defense gives up a touchdown and Derrick Henry fumble. It feels like they're always right there, but they can't get it done. And at what point is that not an excuse anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with what you're saying. The way that I've seen things for 3 weeks so far, this isn't a team that's going to correct the issues of last year where they do mess it up on the last play. And I think that comes down to, unfortunately, it comes down to coaching a little bit too. And I think, obviously the conversation is already there, but there needs to be a little bit of more conversation on what is John Harbaugh doing at the second half of the season that's leading this team to not be able to make the right play, correct the game script to where they can be set up for success. And what are you doing with Derrick Henry to make sure that does not happen again, that we cannot have that fumble on that last drive? What are we doing there?
Yeah. Now, we talked a lot about that game. Probably the biggest game of the weekend, arguably, but there's a debate there because the other big game from this weekend was Philadelphia Eagles versus the Los Angeles Rams. And now, this is a game that, had its highs and lows. The first half it looked like the Rams were by far the better team. The Eagles could not get anything going offensively. It is clear that the Eagles want to establish the run, and when it's not working, they are very, very hesitant to put the game in Jalen Hurts' hands. And once they do, it worked, but it wasn't until the second half they even wanted to give him a chance. Whereas for the Rams, they got way too conservative. They were winning this game, they got comfortable, and then 2 blocked field goals at the end of this game give the Eagles the win. What's y'all's thoughts on this game?
If you watch that, I think it was the last field goal block. I think there's a clip of just zooming in, and number 47 on the Rams is blocking nobody and is like 3 yards downfield. So I don't really know. Like, this is just for the whole NFL this week. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were very wrong. I want to bring this up real quick because last week we were talking about how the Broncos shouldn't even tried to block that kick because you're not going to block any kick there. Just don't go for the leverage penalty. You're not going to block it.
Yeah.
We were so wrong because this week there was like 3 or 4 blocked kicks that mattered.
Yeah, I think there were 4, and I don't like. We've seen block kicks happen before. Like they happen like every 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, but not to this degree.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's going on, but we, like you said, we did see Jalen Hurts step up what he needed to. I just think that's their whole game plan, though. Like in the first half, they want to control the clock, control the run game. I know Saquon didn't play good.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been playing as great as of recent, but I think that's their game plan. Mm-hmm. I think especially when they go up against a good team, they want to control the clock, control the game.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there. Just with controlling the clock goes back to coaching ultimately, and Nick Sirianni has been under fire before, but Nick Sirianni outcoached Sean McVay in this game, and I feel like that's rare to say because Sean McVay usually does a really good job there. But the fact that kind of like how you mentioned that it looked like the Rams kind of just put their foot off the gas and kind of not let the Eagles score, but kind of let the Eagles run away with this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of that, too, the Rams were without their cornerback that was supposed to be covering A.J. Brown, Witherspoon. Mm-hmm. And they ended up rotating several guys in there to keep trying to cover A.J. Brown, and no one could.
I mean, they put... I didn't actually even know that Forbes was left Washington to go to the Commanders or to go to the Rams. But that is the worst decision any defensive coordinator could have ever made because if you've watched any A.J. Brown reel, he is doing something to Forbes. Like, he's always putting up 100 yards on Forbes. So I don't care if you got to throw a rookie out there. Keep Forbes away from A.J. Brown.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It just didn't look like they had a game plan going into this of like, how are we going to defend A.J. Brown, because they kept swapping things around. They kept, I mean, obviously that's what you got to do, but there just wasn't a focus on the passing game coverage and what we can do there to shut A.J. Brown down. And I think that really hit them where it hurts at the end.
But what I will ask then is, do you blame them? Through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, the Eagles have shown they don't want to throw the ball, and they haven't been. I mean, Jalen Hurts hadn't had over 160 yards passing going into this game. And, I mean, at halftime, he had, 40 yards passing? Like, it's clear that that's not what the Eagles wanted to do. So, by forcing them into the pass game, you're kind of trying to force the Eagles into what they didn't want to do. Now, it worked because they've got the talent to make it work, but I feel like the game plan should be to stop Saquon, and that's what they did. It's just unfortunate that... Again, we talked about this week going with the Cowboys. You just can't stop everything with the Eagles. They've got too much going. You can take out what you want, but they'll beat you with what they have.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they tempted Jalen Hurts to be able to throw the ball, and this time he did it.
Yeah.
And 3 passing touchdowns was the first time he had 3 passing touchdowns since 2023. So this isn't a thing that Jalen Hurts does all the time. So they said, hey, let's test it and see if it works. And unfortunately, Jalen Hurts proved him wrong. So
yeah. Now, I got a new question to pose, and maybe I want to get your opinion first on this. The tush push. You know where I'm going with this. There's been so much controversy with the tush push. Especially this season specifically, that even Jason Kelce talked out about it last week, saying, they false start sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I watched this one video of this guy breaking down every single play of the tush push since its inception 4 years ago. When Jason Kelce was there, they were false starting or penalizing on about 3% of plays. Since he's left, it's up to 27%. Ever since they've had to plug in a new center, plug in some new offensive linemen, the whole scheme's changed. They are false starting. They are going across the line. They are committing penalties at a high rate, yet they're not getting called for them. What do you do here? Like, what do you do as a defense, and what should the league do? Because obviously there is something wrong with this play.
Yeah.
I never really got the whole stigma behind the tush push. Not because it's not a good play, because how can you not stop it? Like, how can you not game plan for it?
Because they've got one of the best offensive lines in the league with former rugby players that can push.
But when you have guys like, let's just say, because we talked about him earlier, Migbuka, or Mabike.
Metabuke. Hopefully he does
I just know
watch
him
this.
as an A&M guy. But,
yeah.
if you have a guy like that, how is he not getting through that?
Because I think it is. I think you're underestimating how hard it is. I mean, he's got to get 1 yard. That's all it is. He just has to fall forward metaphorically as long as the offensive line can just hold their spot or get a tiny push. And those offensive linemen are just so strong; they're getting the push. They're out-strengthening the defense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Is that they're obviously only running this play when it's between a yard or a yard and a half to gain, and that's. I mean, when you got 5 300-pound guys up there, it shouldn't be that hard to get 1 yard.
Yeah, but we've seen it like in the past of QB sneaks have been around since the beginning of football.
Yeah,
and they've never really worked.
Well, also like think about how they run it too. Let's say you got 5 defensive linemen, 5 offensive linemen. That's not what it is. It's more than that. But let's say you push in and it's equal. Well, if you're pushing equally, and then you've got Jalen Hurts and Saquon and a tight end in the backfield pushing with them, now, yes, you've got 3 linebackers that can match that. But the thing is the defense can't just push back. They have to actually be trying to make a tackle.
Yeah.
Like, they can't always be pushing. They have to take an arm off to try and tackle. They have to just have linebackers jump over to try and tackle. So they're getting less of a push on the defensive side because of the fact that they have to tackle.
Well, and the thing is they're trying to jump over, and then when they jump over, Jalen Hurts just goes low.
Yeah.
So he wins the numbers game either way.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you guys this. Do you guys think it should be banned?
Here's what I actually think. This is going to be probably a hot take and a half. I don't like the forward progression rule. That's just me. I do not like that a play can get blown dead before a guy's down. Yeah, you can call me crazy for that because that's what literally screwed the Rams in this game. There was a specific 4th and 1 where the Eagles were down 2 touchdowns, and Jalen Hurts gets this QB sneak. He's just sitting on top of the pile. He's not going to ever hit the ground. His knee's never going to go down. And Jared Verse rips the ball out from his hands, but the refs had already blown the play dead because his forward progression was stopped.
Yeah.
That to me I don't like. That is literally saying he can just go as far as he can, and then whatever happens after that doesn't matter because.
And obviously you're going to get stopped because there's
a wall.
22 guys right there, like smack dab. And I get it. I get the forward progression play when it's like, okay, 3 guys are trying to tackle this one guy and he's pushing forward and now he can't get back anymore. But this is all the guys in one place. Obviously, the play is going to be stalled. But I think that brings up a good point of if you don't like the forward progression issue, and that usually happens in the tush push, then maybe the tush push should be banned.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think now the tush push should be banned. I was fine with it not being banned. Last year didn't make me as mad because there wasn't also as many penalties. Like, it feels like there wasn't as much controversy around it. There was, but like in my opinion, even as a Cowboys fan, there wasn't as many penalties. They were obvious, and there wasn't so many. Like, it just felt like when they were running it better than everyone else. This year, it feels like they're just running it and they can do whatever they want, and the refs aren't going to stop them. Or the refs are going to help them out, where they're going to blow it dead when there's literally a guy ripping the ball out of his hands, and it's not a fumble. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that even guys like, obviously, Jason Kelce speaking out, but then like Dean Blandino, the CBS expert, speaking out saying like, I'm done with this play. Like, the refs don't know what to do with it, so therefore they got to figure something out.
Yeah,
something has to change. What
do you think, Mason? You think they should ban it?
No. If I have a play, let's say, well, I'm like, I just want to give an example. Like, I have a play in college football 26, right? Mm-hmm. That I love, and it's broken. I'm not going to stop using the play. Nobody's going to stop me from using the play.
I'm not saying the Eagles should stop using the play. They should keep spamming it because they can. But I'm saying the league has to step in and have to figure out something because there's obviously something not right with the play.
I'm just going against, like, it should not be banned. It shouldn't be banned.
Are you saying, this is what I'm getting from that. It's frustrating as a coach to feel like, hey, we figured something out within the rules of how we can kind of take advantage of a team. And now just because we were smart and figured something out, it's being taken away because other people don't like it. Yeah. That would be frustrating.
Yeah. That's why my proposal for it isn't ban the tush push. You don't ban the play itself. You have to just rework the rules inside of it. You have to rework, well, first and foremost, you just have to enforce the offsides, how the offensive line lines up, and then also the false starts. That you have to just enforce.
I think that's just going to frustrate fans even more, though, because they're going to be so, like, harping on pulling flags every time the tush push comes out, and the worst thing a fan wants to see is just flags flying like 20 times a game. I
would argue 31 other NFL teams would rather see a flag fly out than to see the tush push get used because some guys offsides are going out.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about teams, I'm talking about fans.
I'm saying the fans of those teams and anyone watching the game would much rather a flag come out than some guy jump early and they get another 4th and 1 because it just works every
I'm just
time.
saying I think we should take away giving the power to the refs where they're just going to being able to throw flags and just have more screen time talking about the penalties rather than like, hey, let's actually watch the football game.
Yeah, but that's why my proposal was we need to just fix the forward progression thing, because I don't like the fact that someone can just reach over and then come back and then now get tackled for a 2-yard loss, but you got your 1-yard gain. Like,
see, okay, that's where I kind of like draw the line on that, is because
except for in the end zone. The end zone's the only case where that should be true.
well, okay, no, you can't just do that.
Yes, because the
You
end
can't
zone,
have
once you
forward-
enter the end zone, you are in the end zone,
I
plays
understand,
dead.
but you can't have forward progression in the end zone and not have it on the field.
Yes, you can.
You can't have one of them.
Yes, you can. You 100% can.
Well,
Because
now
when
you
you're,
actually can't.
No,
Yes,
you can. The second you enter the end
no.
zone, the play is dead. When you're just putting a ball over on a normal play, the play is not dead when you get a first down. You can still get tackled. This play still continues.
Yes, but the example you brought up, the refs blew the play dead. Whistle blows, you're done. Play's done.
Yes, that shouldn't be. I'm saying that should not happen.
No, that's not forward progression. That is just the play's dead. The play's done. That's not forward progression. He was still there. Whistle blow.
But that's
then the
what
ball
forward
gets.
No, but that's forward. The whistle is being blown because the forward progression has been stopped. That is what
I
the whistle
understand that,
is
but
blown
like
for.
they're also this has been a topic of conversation ever since they changed the rules about when they blow the whistle, especially when it's the quarterback.
Yes.
Right. You wrap your hands around the quarterback, they're usually going to blow the whistle
Yes.
really quick.
Yes.
And that example that you just brought up is part of that. You're necessarily tying it too much to forward progression and not tying it enough to when a quarterback gets hit or like just wrapped up, whistle blows immediately.
Then, in my opinion, you should be considered a running back if you're taking the snap and you're running it. That's no longer a quarterback. If it's in the backfield, sure, protect the quarterbacks. But if he's going out every single play and he's running it like a direct snap to a running back, that he shouldn't be protected. He should not get protection on that play then. If that's
Okay,
the
what
case.
if he slides and gets hit?
If he slides, the sliding is allowed. That's a rule in itself. I'm saying he shouldn't get protection in the sense of they're going to blow the play dead if he's running on a play like past the line of scrimmage, like if he's running it like a running back.
Okay, I think we've had a lot of discussion on
Yeah.
this topic.
Yeah.
We may need to move on.
I don't know. I don't know. So we can move on. I don't know.
What's next?
The AFC South.
AFC South. Okay.
Obviously, not how we would have expected this division to play out so far this season.
Yeah.
Texans are now 0-3, Jags are 2-1, and the Colts are 3-0. I'm a loss for words, to be honest.
Yeah.
Last week, me and Mason came on the show, and I think we both still agreed, even though the Texans were 0-2, this is their division. I don't think you can say that anymore. They're
No.
now 3 games back on the Colts. The Colts still look just as dominant as they did week 1, and the Texans' offense just can't figure it out. So is it over? Is the Texans' season done?
I hate to say it, but I think it is. I think I don't know what's gotten into CJ Stroud, but he just doesn't look as confident, as decisive, not making as many completions, not utilizing his great receivers that he has. And I think it is a CJ Stroud issue. I think a lot of last year was, okay, blame the offensive line. And maybe that's still part of the issue, but now it's come down to the fact that they've placed all the pieces in the right place and CJ Stroud is just not making the plays. And I had them going 10-7. So I had them winning the division for sure as well. And I think that's, I don't know. That's probably not at play anymore. But 10-7 is not at play. This is not a 10-win team. If you can't score and you can't be consistent on offense and your running game struggles as much as it does. They have Nick Chubb back there and Woody Marks. And to me, I'm not too confident in those two at all. So I think they were a very deceiving offense last year and looked like they could be great this year. And I don't think they're going to be great this year.
Yeah, this leads kind of into my hot take. Especially this game, but Houston looks just unbelievable. CJ Stroud can't make decisions to save his life.
Yeah.
And we saw like highlights of his rookie year again, especially that first drive against Tampa last week. Like, that was a really good drive.
Yeah.
Really good touchdown. And then disappears. But I also want to congratulate the Colts because they are playing
Indiana Jones.
way out of this world right now. Never could have expected that.
Yeah.
Jags 2-1.
Hey, Jax could take this division, honestly.
It's not bad, but I don't think they can take the division with Trevor Lawrence as their
who
starting quarterback.
Who would you have winning the division? The Colts?
Probably right now the Colts, yeah.
I mean, I'm in agreement. Like it's it feels so illegal to say because I was so low on them going into this season. But I mean, their defense has looked great, which has been I think that's been a little bit surprising for me. I didn't realize how good their defense was going to be. And then, I mean, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that's probably where we should go next, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he has looked like the guy that came in after his rookie season and was, I mean, projected to be an RB1 in fantasy because he was that elite level. I mean, in Wisconsin, I mean, he won the Doak Walker. I mean, he was one of the best running backs, I mean, in college, obviously. And he looks like it now. Like, finally, 338 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Like, that is what this offense is run behind. Daniel Jones has looked great. Don't get me wrong. But, like, if Jonathan Taylor can keep this production up, there's nothing stopping the Colts. I mean, that's the identity the Colts have wanted to have for years, too. They get their great offensive line, and they want to run the ball. And that's what they've been able to do so far, and that's what's working.
Yeah. I think, good point there you said. I think, not that you said this, but I think we should halt the hype a little bit on Daniel Jones specifically because to me this is Jonathan Taylor's offense. This is not Daniel Jones' offense. Yeah. Daniel Jones is being protected well and completing passes when he needs to, and Jonathan Taylor is going crazy for, I don't know, was it 2 or 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns this past week.
3 touchdowns this past week. That's not Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he can complete a couple passes, but. And that, to me, this was about to be my hot take, and then I went in a different direction. But that, to me, sets up a team for failure when it comes to the playoffs because they're relying on Jonathan Taylor to purely be the workhorse of this offense. And when it comes down to it, when Daniel Jones has to make the play, and it's not just a breakout touchdown to Jonathan Taylor, then they're not going to win.
Yeah. No, I still don't think I'm high enough to think this team could even win a playoff game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even though we all had Houston win this division, you had them 9-8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You had them 10-7, I had them 10-7. We weren't ever that high on this team like they were some contender. It was just the fact that this was a bad division.
I honestly was. I have to make a confession. When he first sent us the playoff predictor thing, I had them at 12 wins. And then I looked back on it and I was like, maybe not, and I took a couple away, just because I got worried about C.J. Stroud and how he looked last year and blah blah blah. Yeah. Thank God I didn't took a couple away, but I should have took 5 away.
Yeah. Now we obviously spent way too much time on those first 2 games, so we're gonna head to the last segment before our commercial break, and we're gonna do something fun today. So it's something I've wanted to do since we literally have created this show last year, but even for the fantasy football show that I hosted freshman year. It's called 2-minute drill. So I'm going to hit y'all with this or that, yes or no questions, and y'all are going to quickly fire off your answers based off of what y'all think. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Hurry up, no huddle offense, and y'all are just going to answer these questions. I opened the calculator instead of the clock. Besides the point. Nice. 2 minutes starts now. Lions or Packers, who's winning the NFC North?
Lions.
Packers.
Okay, so we're split there. Jefferson or you can't debate it.
I'm sorry, I'm getting so angry because the Packers put 10 points on the board this week. I just don't understand.
Oh my gosh. The Lions put 6 on the board against.
Guys, we don't have any timeouts. We don't have any time.
Go. Okay. Sorry.
Jefferson or Chase? Who's the best wide receiver in the league?
Chase.
Okay. Henry or Saquon? Who would you rather have?
Saquon.
Saquon.
Okay. Who's winning the AFC West this year? Chargers, Chiefs, or Broncos?
Chargers.
Broncos.
Okay. College or NFL football? I know it was
NFL.
College.
Okay. Eagles, Rams, Lions. Who makes it out of the NFC? What's your heart telling you?
My heart's wanting to say Rams, but because the Eagles literally just beat them, I want to say Eagles. But I think the Rams get back at them, so I'm going Rams.
Eagles.
Okay. Who had the more impressive win this past week? The Vikings winning by 38 over the Bengals or the Seahawks winning by 31 over the Saints?
Sorry, go ahead.
The Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings 100%. I don't
It's the Saints.
anyone
but they were facing Jake Browning. But
okay.
But yes. No, I
Seahawks
agree.
faced Spencer Rattler.
Next question. Ravens or Bills? With how the season started,
Just overall?
Which team is going to be better at the end of the year?
Bills.
Okay. Ooh, so I thought y'all both just said Ravens. You thought you said Ravens are still in your Super Bowl.
I said they still can make the Super Bowl.
Okay, but right now you'd pick the Bills.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is the Bengals season over? Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. Who's going to end with more wins this year? The 0-3 Giants or the 0-3 Dolphins?
Dolphins.
Giants.
Okay.
Jackson Dart return, baby.
We got 15 seconds. Greg Olson, Tony Romo, Tom Brady. Who's the best analyst?
Greg Olson, by far. There's no debate. He's the best man. He should be on the A team.
Oh, okay. Well, this is probably going to be the last question. So, I love Tom Brady, but I'm going to go Tony Romo.
Okay, now that we run out of time, I do have the final question, which is going to be the final question no matter what. Who wins the Super Bowl?
If I had to change my pick right now between the two teams I had in it, I would say Bills, Lions, and I say Bills win.
Mason? I'll put you all on the spot.
Yeah, I just, oh my god.
Field goal got blocked by now.
Yeah, probably. Especially if I'm a lefty. I'm going to say, like, you want the teams and then the winner.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm going to say the Eagles. Bills.
And who wins?
Bills.
Yes.
I think the storybook is too much on them right now. Like,
Yeah.
win the Super Bowl.
Bills Mafia.
Jim Kelly did like a monologue for their game against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, you know what will happen if they win the Super Bowl?
What?
The Hard Knocks curse will be broken.
that is
Think
true.
about that.
Well,
I
Think
actually
about
haven't
that.
watched their Hard Knocks.
I have. I am a Hard Knocks fanatic.
Oh, is it just because Josh Allen though?
No, I've been watching it since I was a child. What has anything to do with Josh Allen?
Allen.
Josh Allen is married.
Well, that besides the point, we got off topic. This was supposed to be a 2-minute warning. Now we're at 3.5. We're gonna head to commercial break real quick, and we get back. We're gonna rank our top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Welcome back into We Know Ball. Now, before the break, we got a little heated talking about some NFL, and then we did a 2-minute drill. Now we're gonna go to the top 10 quarterbacks. Now, 2 weeks ago, I don't even remember what sparked the debate. But we were talking about someone being a top 5 borderline quarterback.
It was between us,
I think
right?
it was
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
It was,
talking
because-
about if he's
yes.
a top 5 quarterback.
Yes.
I said he's clearly not. You said it was debatable.
I adjusted my take on that after realizing all the other quarterbacks that I now know that are ahead of him. I
Yes.
just, in my brain, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So now we're gonna get into it. Alyssa, you can kick us off. Then go through your 10. Then Mason, you'll go through your 10. I'll go through my 10, and then we'll debate the differences.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, number 1. I immediately, when I pulled up this list and started typing it out, I put Josh Allen. And then I looked at the stats last year and I said, no, has to be Lamar Jackson. But I know you have Josh Allen, and I somewhat agree. 2, Josh Allen, obviously. 3, Patrick Mahomes. Don't really think there's a ton of debate there, other than you have Joe Burrow ahead of him. Also, I was wondering with this.
She's exposing our
Yeah,
list before we
yeah.
go.
Sorry. Okay, I'll just keep going. 4, Joe Burrow. 5, Justin Herbert. 6, Jaden Daniels. 7, Jalen Hurts, which was a lot lower than I anticipated that I was putting him. 8, Baker Mayfield. 9, Dak Prescott.
Woo.
Shout out to my boy. And then 10, Matthew Stafford. Mason?
Okay, Mason.
I have the same top 2 as Alyssa, Lamar, and then Josh. I think that's kind of like those are the 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I think
the order.
everyone in the world can
Yeah.
agree with that.
They could be interchangeable.
3, I have Joe Burrow.
Joe Shiesty.
Patrick, I have 4. I think Patrick, every single year as we go on, is going to
He
go.
never
he's
gets
gonna keep
referred to
going
as
down.
Patrick. I don't know why that's funny.
Patrick.
Like it's
Patrick.
always Mahomes.
Patrick Starr.
Patrick.
So you want me to call him Jackson Mahomes?
That's his
It's his
brother.
brother.
I know.
I know. Okay, who's your 5?
Justin Herbert, 5. Jared Goff, 6.
Crazy
Hot
shout.
take.
Crazy shout.
Jalen Hurts, 7. Reigns Prescott, 8. Jaden Daniels, 9. And Baker, 10.
Okay. Well, I got a little bit different. Obviously, Alyssa already kind of spoiled it. I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Get it.
It's not like you weren't going to throw the graphic up there.
I know the graphic's already up on the screen at this point. Josh Allen 1, Lamar Jackson 2, interchangeable. I went back and forth. We'll talk about why in a second. Mahomes 3. I don't really think there's debate there. Burrow 4, Herbert 5. Dak Prescott's my 6. Matthew Stafford 7, Baker Mayfield 8, Jalen Hurts 9, and Jaden Daniels 10. Okay, so now we'll start from the top and we'll work our way down. From the top, I don't think we need to talk too much about Allen and Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all agree those are the top two. I honestly concede either way. Tomorrow I might think Lamar's better. Like, it is so close.
Yeah.
Mason, you have Burrow at 3, though, over Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk about that.
It's as simple as this. If you give Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes' offensive line, he outperforms Patrick Mahomes. It's that simple.
This current iteration of the Chiefs' offensive line. Because there was a few years the Chiefs' offensive line wasn't great. That's why they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucs.
Yeah.
But you're saying this current offensive line. Okay.
I think that this, to me, kind of goes down to the durability factor, too. I feel like Joe Burrow, just because I gave him a little bit of a slight just because he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
I'm the same way. I think if ever since that Super Bowl run that the Bengals had, if we'd seen that Joe Burrow consistently for these next 3 years, I'd easily I may even be arguing him for 1. But because of the fact that he hasn't been able to stay healthy, which, I mean, maybe you can say it's his offensive line's fault,
Yeah.
but, like, it is still somewhat his fault that he can't stay healthy. And it's not like his fault, I guess, but, like, you have to knock him for that. We haven't been able to see that 2022 Burrow that made it to the Super Bowl. That is a Burrow that looked better than Mahomes and is the only actual quarterback of the top 4 that has beaten Mahomes. Like, Allen and Jackson haven't been able to get to the Super Bowl, haven't been able to get over Mahomes. Burrow has. He's the only guy besides Brady that's been able to do that. So Burrow, obviously, at his peak, has shown that, but I'm with you, Alyssa. I don't know if the availability is the best ability, in my opinion, is what some people say, and he just hasn't been there.
That's fair.
However, I'm going to be a little hypocritical on that because I do have Dak Prescott at 6. But next thing I do want to talk about, we all have Justin Herbert 5. So as much as we were talking about, the reason this whole top 10 started is because we said the number 5 position is the most debated position in quarterbacks. Everyone agrees in the top 4 in whatever order you want. 5's where the debate really starts. We all agree, though.
I think it was just pure luck. Well, because I was in between 3 quarterbacks for the 5 spot.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll just put Herbert in because of what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is not like
it is recency
as you say, I think it is a little
bias.
bit of recency bias, but I think it's because for so many years, I mean,
he's the what if quarterback.
I was about to say Justin Herbert has 10 Super Bowls in what if world. Like he is the what if quarterback, and now we finally have seen what we all thought he could be.
Yeah, I think that adds to the ante. Like now it's a greater story.
And you switched that storyline with Joe Burrow. Now Joe Burrow's the what if quarterback.
Yeah, honestly. Like, can he ever get back? Or can he? Can he ever get back? Can he get healthy?
I mean, obviously the one thing Justin Herbert doesn't have is he hasn't gone to a Super Bowl. So.
He hasn't done anything in the playoffs. He's actually, that is his biggest knock and why I almost didn't want to put him 5. But I think you'll see in my list, obviously with Dak 6 as well, I don't value playoff success as much. I value playoff performances, like how you perform in the playoffs, and I still believe Herbert actually worse than Dak. Dak has still performed good in playoff games. There's obviously, you can point out a couple bad plays, but he's played overall good in the playoffs. Herbert hasn't, but overall, I'm not knocking him for playoff success. I'm rating what quarterback would I want on my team right now, and who's the better talent, and to me, that's Herbert.
Yeah.
So let's get to 6. We are very different here at 6. Mason is Jared Goff. Me and Alyssa do not have Goff in our top 10s.
I was debating him for 10, but definitely not 6.
He was my debate for 10 as well. Alyssa, you have Jaden Daniels, which me and Mason have down at 9 and 10. Yeah. And then I have Dak, who y'all have at 8 and 9. So technically, consensusly, mine's looking the best. Okay.
I think we should ask Mason, what is your deal with Jared Goff?
Well, I think he's better than Jaden Daniels. Just kidding. Well, I'm not, but I just think that Jared Goff, me and Connor talked about this, the ultimate system QB. And I think your perfect example of that is going to be, who did I say? I'm blanking.
The ultimate system quarterback?
Yes.
Were you talking about Brock Purdy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy. He's the ultimate system quarterback. Because Connor was thinking of putting him in his top 10.
Oh. Purdy was at my 11-12.
I think it's unfair to say right now just because of where we're at.
Yeah, the reason he's not my top 10 is the same reason why I'm lower on Burrow is because of the availability.
Yeah.
2 years ago, he was third in MVP voting. He was right behind Lamar and Dak as one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Now, his team was injured last year, and so was he, and now he's injured this year. So since we haven't seen it recently, it's what have you done for me recently? And since he hasn't, I couldn't put him in.
When you talk about the ultimate system quarterback, I want to put a quarterback in there who has proven himself to be the ultimate system quarterback besides Brock Purdy. And I think Jared Goff, he's shown us what he can do when he was with the Rams. And then when he moved over to Detroit, he's got a whole stadium of 80,000 people chanting his name. Does Jaden Daniels have that?
No, but Jalen Hurts has that. Why is
I feel like Eagles fans would love Saquon probably more than they love Hurts.
No,
Yeah.
but that I'm just talking to the broader topic of how
Well,
you
I don't
have,
think I'm not accounting for anything the Eagles fans do. So I just no.
But I guess what we're probably both arguing over here is like, are you not worried that like, I mean, yes, he led the Rams to the Super Bowl too. He's not like he's just done this with the Lions, but are you not worried that that's more of a product of the talent and the coaching around him rather than him himself? Because I mean, he's gotten to be under Sean McVay and have Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and then he's gotten to be under Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell, and he's had Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, Laporta, Gibbs, Monty. Like, is he not a product of
he
what's
is the
around
product
him?
of the system, exactly like you're saying.
Yes.
I think your point defeats itself because
Well, I also think that when that Chiefs game happened in 2018, he had Todd Gurley.
He still had Cooper Kupp at that point.
He had a young Cooper Kupp that wasn't.
Yes, he wasn't
Cooper Kupp.
Yes, he wasn't Cooper Kupp we knew, but like it was more Robert Woods probably too at that point. But he still had some weapons. But yes, I do agree.
And
Honestly,
every
if we're
quarterback
thinking-
has a weapon.
I agree that honestly, Rams Jared Goff I did like a lot too. And so if you look at longevity of his career, I mean he's had a great career and he's a good
Yeah,
quarterback. He was my number 11, but
Yeah.
just currently, I feel like it's been more of the system than it has been him.
yeah, and I feel like the way that the state of the quarterback is trending in the NFL with it being you have to be a dual threat rusher and a passer. To me, I kind of based that off my rankings too of like who is the modern day best NFL quarterback, and that has not proven. The passer and the pocket passer that Jared is not what's proven right now to be the most successful quarterback in the NFL. So
My question to you then, Mason, because you've got Hurts, Prescott, Daniels right under him. If you're a defense and you're preparing for a game and you see on your schedule it's Goff, are you more scared of Goff than you are Hurts, Prescott, or Daniels?
I'm more scared of Goff than I am Dak.
I feel like the issue is Hurts mainly for me.
It's not for me. Hurts is down at 9, but I ain't scared of him. I'm scared of Saquon and the offensive line and the tush push and his receivers. But
I think when you talk about system quarterbacks, and I know Alyssa, you just hate them apparently, except one, Matthew Stafford. But I just think that
Matthew Stafford is the system. He ain't no system quarterback. He
Yeah.
is the system. He makes the system.
I just think Tom Brady, what he can do, what he did with nobody, no name white position players on his team and win 6 Super Bowls. I think you're never going to get that. And I think half of that was a system. I think half of Tom Brady's career, Bill Belichick really helped him out. The later half, no.
Yeah.
But that was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But the first half, I think Bill Belichick really helped that out, and I think that was the system.
Yeah.
Those first 2 Super Bowls were the system. And I think that's not going to go away. There's always going to be the system quarterback. There's always going to be the pocket passer.
I'm not saying
I think a system quarterback is an amazing thing. Like having a Purdy, having a Goff is an amazing thing.
There's always going to be the one great one.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
But
what I mean.
I'm counting. I have Goff and Purdy in the same tier because I have them as my 11 and 12. I think they are both great quarterbacks that you would love to have as the quarterback of your team. But I would rather these 10 guys ahead of them. I'd rather a guy that doesn't need the system. He makes the system. He is the system.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually do have a question though.
Okay.
I want to move on from that.
Fire.
I want to talk about Alyssa's 6 pick.
Oh.
Okay.
And I want to talk about
Daniels.
why do you think he's number 6 quarterback already as it's his second year in the league?
Okay. I'll have to say I feel like I did a little bit of like future projections with this, which we didn't really clarify the parameters of everything. But I think just because of the year 1 that he had, that I could see his ceiling being so much higher than it already is, and his ceiling is already extremely high.
Yeah.
I mean, just with that great, amazing year last year, that's one of the best rookie quarterback performances we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And to take his team where he took them after the state of the Commanders, I think that says a lot about a quarterback and his maturity. And so if we were to do the parameters differently and maybe it was not as much future projection, I may have him lower. And yeah, if you're asking me right now, like, who do I want to go out there and lead a game-winning drive, and you say Jalen Hurts or Daniels, I might pick Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
If we're saying game-winning drive, I'm taking Baker Mayfield.
Well, yeah, but
So, I mean, I can see it. But then here's a different debate I want to bring up. We're all in agreement here that the top 5 quarterbacks are all AFC quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, and we all have 6 through 10 as NFC quarterbacks. So
and all the same quarterbacks too in the AFC.
Well, no, you don't have Stafford.
No,
Yeah.
in the AFC.
Oh, in the AFC, yes, we have the same top 5. My question then to both of y'all, because I'm fine with saying this for my statement. Are you saying Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the NFC? Are you okay with saying Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC? Because that's what y'all are saying with y'all's take right there.
Yeah.
I might reconsider.
Are you switching Hurts and Daniels?
Possibly.
There's no way you're calling Jalen Hurts the best quarterback in the NFC.
I'm just saying, I get it's like he has a great system, but the amount, you can't argue success and you can't argue consistency. And that's what he's had. That's what winners do. That's what Super Bowl MVPs do. And he shows up every time when he needs to. He was asked just this last week to throw passing touchdowns, which people didn't think he really does anymore, and he did it. Like, when was the last time that he let you down?
Does that mean let me down?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I feel like it's not him that's carrying the team, though. Like, that's what I think to me is, like, we've talked about before so many times on the show. Like, what you have around you, like, makes your job easier. I think he does well with what he has, and he's performed, but he's also performed because of what he has around him. Like, when you have the best running back in football in your backfield...
But he also did well before Saquon Barkley got there.
He did, but he wasn't nearly the top NFC quarterback. Like, in my opinion...
Oh, that's debatable.
I personally don't really feel like it is. But maybe I'm far off on this, but before Saquon was there, I don't feel like he was in these conversations.
I think he was. I think he has more of a consistency in each phase of the game, in his passing attack, in his rushing attack, in his ability to command the offense, and I think he's one of the more well-rounded guys, and that's why I have him.
Wait. What'd you just say, Connor?
I said that before Saquon got there, he was not considered the top quarterback in the NFC.
I think he was more considered.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, because Saquon now is taking away the spotlight from him.
It is, yes. But I'm saying, like, 2 years ago, let's go back to, they made the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. They made the Super Bowl that year against the Chiefs in that one. In my opinion, I think it was very clear that 2 years ago, the top quarterback in the NFC was Stafford. After his Super Bowl run, coming off his year where he won the Super Bowl.
I don't agree.
They didn't even wake up from winning the Super Bowl for 5 weeks.
Yeah, but it's still he's still the best. I don't know. That's a whole different story to debate.
I think it's your bias.
If we're debating,
I think it's
your bias.
yeah, guys.
No, also if we're
Cowboys
debating
fan.
2 years ago, there was actually no debate in the entire league. The best quarterback in the NFC was Dak Prescott. He should have won MVP, but he was second in
Yeah.
MVP.
No, I'm not
That's
saying
not even
I
a
think it's your bias.
question.
I think it's your bias.
Mason, that is not even a question. That 2 years ago, the best quarterback in the NFC was Dak Prescott. The numbers don't lie. The second place in MVP voting.
Nope, I'm not getting in
Hurts
this
didn't even get a
conversation.
vote.
I'm not getting in this conversation.
Okay.
Let's move on to hot takes.
Okay. Let's move on to hot takes.
Okay.
Even though you've had plenty in this show already, but
Okay.
So have you.
You want to get rid of a rule altogether.
Yeah, stupid rule.
Guys, thank God I'm here so I can mediate these two guys.
Yeah, if it was just us like last week, it'd be fist fighting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the cameras would be off by now. But yes, let's move over to hot takes. Let's make these quick because we keep saying we're gonna go quick, and now we're about 50 minutes in the show, and we still have college football. So
Can I go first?
yes,
Okay. My hot take, and I really cooked this one up. It was a lot. Did a lot of research, so y'all better listen up. Quentin Johnston will finish ahead of Jamar Chase in fantasy points by the end of this year.
oh,
Okay, listen.
this is hot.
So this is hot, guys. This is probably the hottest take I've had. Johnston has become wide receiver 1 for the Los Angeles Chargers. And they're not using McConkey as much. They're using Keenan Allen, whatever. No one expected this from Johnston, but he's been their really insane deep ball threat and has done a great job so far. 239 yards, which is 6th in the league among wide receivers so far this year. 3 touchdowns, tied for 3rd among wide receivers this year. And then his fantasy points, let's see, what do I have? His fantasy points is 55.7 so far. And that's 7th among wide receivers in fantasy so far.
What's Chase?
Jamar Chase is 10th.
Okay.
And he's only declining because, as we all know, Joe Burrow's out. He's not going to be back. They said 3 months was his timetable.
Yeah.
we've seen it before where Jake Browning has come in and been able to distribute the ball well to Chase. But what I've seen of Jake Browning lately, and him and Jamar Chase, I don't think that's going to be that's not going to work this entire season. And I think Jamar Chase is trending downward in fantasy because of the physical presence of Jake Browning be there and the lack of Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And so right now, I'm projecting that Jamar Chase is going to probably slide out of the top 10, and that I think Quentin Johnson, I think, is legit going to have a great year and keep himself there. Because why would they not continue to throw the ball? Why would Justin Herbert not continue to throw the ball to him when they've exposed this deep threat?
I think the thing about this take that really, I think confused me is the part about Jamar Chase. If you said Quentin Johnson's going to be a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy, I would borderline agree with you, but I'd still be hesitant. But the fact that you say he's going to end with more points than Jamar Chase is where I probably have to.
It's because of the quarterback situation.
But here's I guess my point on that. As a Jamar Chase fantasy owner, this past week is probably going to be his worst week of the season with Jake Browning. You're facing what looked like the best defense in football in Minnesota, and in a week where the defense forced 6 turnovers. The offense had 6 turnovers. They were not on the field a lot. It was a blowout game where they ended up getting pulled early into the fourth quarter, and he still ended with 10 fantasy points. It's not great, but I feel like in a normal game script where they're at least somewhat closer, they're going to be playing from behind in every game.
Yeah, who's to say they're going to be closer in all these games?
They're not going to lose by 30 in every game.
I'm not saying that.
We've seen Browning, against a normal team and a normal defense in the Jags just 2 weeks ago.
I just think you're putting a little bit too much faith in Browning.
I think Browning is I would say a bottom 5 quarterback right now, but he is great for Jamar Chase in fantasy.
I think, and I did this last week, put too much faith into Jake Browning.
Yes.
I talked about him a lot last week.
Yes.
But what I want to say is you're not taking in factor one consideration. The Bengals could have Kirk Cousins by the end of this week.
Or Jameis Winston.
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
They could have Kirk Cousins, and you saw what he could do with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. I think that goes back to future projections. I can't project what quarterback he's going to have right now, but if he has Jake Browning for the rest of the year, I don't think he'll finish above Quentin.
I just think stats do not help you. His target share or his target percentage to
with
Jamar
Browning,
Chase with Browning is
I think if this take was Quentin Johnson won with more fantasy points than Justin Jefferson, I would be 100% on board. I am out on Jefferson this year in fantasy, especially because of McCarthy. I'm out on Browning, but Chase still is great in fantasy because of Browning and can be, and the game script is going to be there for them to be great.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
He had,
but it's hot. It's a hot take.
He had 5 targets week 1, 16 targets week 2 when Joe Burrow was there, then he went out.
Joe Burrow was out in the first quarter in that game. 13 of those targets were from Browning.
Okay, moving on. 6 targets. 6 targets this past week. I know it's against the Vikings, but what other team are the Bengals better than that they're going to play better on offense then?
They're not better.
They're not
than,
going to be better than, but that's a good thing
again.
for fantasy though. You want your wide receiver to be on a team that's losing games because you want them to be in pass heavy scripts.
Just wait. Jake Browning's gonna keep throwing the pick sixes.
We cannot go slow.
Okay, Alyssa, thank you for getting me and Connor back on the same page.
Yeah, thank you. Mason's
You're welcome.
Crazy take. Anyways, here's my hot take. I told you it led into the Texans. CJ Stroud will never be like his rookie self. He is always going to keep progressing.
I agree. I'm not going to lie. I really thought you were about to say CJ Stroud's going to be working at McDonald's in 3 years or something.
Oh, my.
I was like,
I think he's made enough money.
Kind of
I don't agree with that, but I thought that's where... Knowing Mason, I thought that's where he was going. I like this take.
Yeah, he's going to be like the kid who peaked in high school.
Bar. I like that.
Not naming any names.
I picked
you know
middle
what
school.
I'm talking about.
Who?
No, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I think what he has done, it says right here, he has 599 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that first year is just unsustainable for him now.
Yeah.
It is partially the Texans' fault for what they built around him. I mean, he doesn't have a run game right now. He doesn't have an offensive line. But even just like you said, just watching him, he just doesn't look like himself.
And against the Jags, he had 200 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. The Jags!
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the Jags secondary is better than people I think are giving them credit for so far this year, but
either way, I think CJ Stroud might be one of the stories in a couple years he leaves the Texans and we see some sort of revival. But I agree, I don't think we'll ever see rookie year.
Yeah, rookie year was 4,108 yards, so that's gonna be.
You have that on your dome? Or
No, not on the dome. I just pulled it up,
Okay.
All right, Connor. What
Do
you
my
got?
research.
My hot take is probably low-key hot, too. But it might be one. It's
We're
either one
never
that we're
gonna
all
get
going
to
to just
college.
nod and agree, or it's going to be one that y'all are like, you're crazy.
We're never
so,
getting in college.
I know.
I don't know if we want to do breaking news right now, but Oklahoma State just fired Mike Gundy.
What?
Oklahoma State just fired Mike Gundy. That is huge.
Oh, no. Tuesday? You're
Come
telling
on,
me
hey, live reaction.
This is our live reaction. I'm shocked.
Okay, at this point in the week, I thought they were waiting until at least after, like,
I thought if they don't do
way.
it on Monday, this man just said yesterday in a press conference that he's 100% coming back.
Well, like,
God.
he is, but they
No,
didn't
I know,
want him-
but like that just shows you how backhanded this was. He didn't
They probably
know.
gave him some security.
He didn't know.
Mason, what are you pulling up right
This
now?
is huge.
No, I'm just looking at all the notifications.
I've already gotten multiple texts.
This man has been the head coach for 21 years, and the era is over.
Well, when we were going to college football, we were going to talk about it. Like, our first segment of college football was college coaches on the hot seat, and it was going to be talking about Gundy.
Okay, now that we fired Gundy, listen to me.
Show's been taken over.
Listen to me. Listen
Yeah,
to me.
sorry. Screw the hot take. You don't get your hot take.
Listen to me.
Hot take is who do you think should
Athletic
be?
director of Oklahoma State. I forgot your name.
Chad Weiberg.
Chad Weiberg.
Hire Billy Napier.
No,
him.
hire
Billy
Zach
Napier.
Robinson.
Hire
Free
Billy
Zach
Napier.
Robinson.
Please.
Okay, I mean, it makes
I didn't think they'd
sense,
do
but
it.
I never thought I'd see this notification.
We've
Like,
never seen Oklahoma State really pull the well, that's not true. They fired Mike Boynton. Pull the
again, that
trigger
was-
on a guy with this kind of legacy is
Boynton
crazy.
was amazing, but he was never what Gundy was.
I know.
He
Yeah,
was a great
that's-
recruiter. He never brought a ton of success to the program, and it had been multiple years of it going downhill. This is, I mean, I guess now year 1 and point 2 of this program going downhill, and he's gone.
He's gone. This is my phone is absolutely blowing up.
Also, in other breaking news, Jackson Dart is starting over Russell Wilson next week.
That's not too breaking.
That is not too breaking, but that is, I mean, interesting.
Yeah, I saw a Yik Yak notification that said, I just saw a man fall to his knees at a Walmart.
Like, this is, I mean,
This is extremely historic. Probably the biggest news we'll get at Oklahoma State. Well,
I mean, he
100%.
was the
Students here.
second longest tenured coach in
Yeah.
FBS?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
After the Iowa guy?
yes.
Yeah.
So,
That's
that
insane.
is 21 years, 19 of those, or 18 of those making a bowl game.
So, yeah,
um,
you're saying Oklahoma State hasn't had a different head coach in 21 years.
We haven't been alive since Gundy was not the head coach of Oklahoma State football,
Yeah.
and we are juniors here at Oklahoma State. To put that in perspective,
Yeah.
we were not alive the last time there was a coach
stunned.
not Gundy.
I'm just like, now I'm cooking up. My brain is flooding with ideas of we're all media majors, or me and Connor are.
Yeah,
So I'm like cooking up ideas of what we can do with.
And about an hour after the show, I was supposed to go make a package about Gundy's resume. Now it's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was your hot take?
Yeah, we can go back to my hot take, but it doesn't seem big anymore. So last week, Mason, we talked about, I said kicker was a top 5 most important position in football. I said it's not top 5 hardest, but it's top 5 most important. So my hot take is Brandon Aubrey is a top 30 player in the NFL.
Honestly valid.
If you were going to rank out the NFL top 100, I don't think I've ever seen a kicker on that list. I'm putting Aubrey in my top 30.
Yep. You've convinced me.
Okay,
I agree.
perfect. Because, I mean, he's a top 5. It's kicker, in my opinion, is a top 5 most important position. So if you're going to have number 1 in a top 5 position, he's got to be at least top 30.
Like, I mean, I love to hate on the Cowboys. But you guys have the best kicker. No doubt.
And
No doubt.
every year, I mean, obviously this isn't the only important stat, but like every year, like when you look at like total points scored, obviously the leaders are always kickers because they're the ones making the most points for your team with field goals and extra points.
I wish so bad that it was Brandon Aubrey taking that kick instead of Jake Bates last night.
Yeah.
Like
The 60.
He would have had it. It was
67.
50 not. Oh, 6. Oh.
yeah,
I
and
think it's 67.
Eli Manning did it.
Yeah,
on the
Eli Manning
cast.
did do.
My
the
bad. I was not
6-7.
watching the Manning cast.
Well,
I
I just
watched
saw
the
a clip.
regular cast.
I watched
do,
the regular
yes,
cast. I don't
watched
like
the
the
regular
Manning
I
cast.
actually had that in my notes. And we didn't talk about it. Manning cast is so much better.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like
No.
the over
I'd rather listen.
commentary.
I'd rather listen to Joe Buck.
If it was honestly, I do agree that the Monday Night Football crew is amazing. So like, I wish it was a different crew that I was listening to Manning cast over. But the Manning.
I mean,
cast
if it was
is
Greg
great.
Olson, yeah,
Oh
Manning cast.
no!
I know.
What? Okay.
I was trying to. She didn't even react.
But sorry, I'm like my brain is
Yeah.
elsewhere right
said-
now.
I
This
said
show
it-
has gone off the rails already with
Yeah.
all the arguments and stuff, and now it's just.
This might be our best show.
This might be
Is this best or worst?
best or most chaotic. Next
Uh,
week maybe we'll come out. the show with predictions about who the coach is going to be next year. I don't know.
What I'm curious now. So I mean, I said my hot take. This is getting closed. We're finishing the show on Gundy.
Who is interim?
That's what I was about to say. Who is the interim head coach here?
I have no idea.
We have 2 new coordinators. It's Meacham and Grantham. Neither of them have been appointed assistant or associate head coach.
It's going to be one of them.
I would say they have to lean Grantham over Doug Meacham, in my opinion, because the last 5 or 6 years, Doug Meacham has been a wide receivers coach.
Well, right now, our offense doesn't look better than our defense. Both look bad.
Hire Casey Dunn.
Is he available?
That's an awful
What if we just pull an Auburn and we just promote Gunner Gundy? Just like they're promoting Bruce Pearl's son.
No.
Are they actually?
Yeah, Bruce Pearl's son is the new head coach of Auburn.
I think I would transfer, actually, in that moment.
Yeah, I think if this says anything, it says this season is in the dumpster.
Yeah, it's over.
I will say, for the players' sake, I'm glad they did this before they could still redshirt and transfer. I hate it for our program, but it's great that some of these players can still get out while they can.
I'm sorry.
Stop.
It won't close.
What is this? He's stimming over here.
No, it won't freaking close.
Okay.
But I mean, do we win a conference game? Like, do we win or I don't know. This isn't the NFL, but in the NFL, I swear every single time an interim head coach comes in, week 1 with an interim head coach, they always win.
Yeah.
In college, I haven't watched enough to know if that statement
there's
is
been
true.
so many things that I thought is going to fire up this team, and they haven't.
Yeah.
You think losing 69-3 would fire you up to go beat your little brother Tulsa? No.
We're a little brother now.
No.
Worst team in
We are a
Oklahoma.
little brother.
Like,
We've always
genuinely,
been little brother.
we went 0-9 in conference play last year. Are we about to do the same?
Yes.
No.
If you had to put money on the line.
One game I think, not that we're the better team, but one game I think we could win is homecoming, Cincinnati.
I was going to say Kansas State.
Yeah. Also, this all also hinges on if Hassani can come back.
UCF.
It looked decent, but I don't think we
beat
go win this.
UCF.
I think even without a head coach, there's genuinely at least a win on the schedule if we can take it. But I don't know if we will. Like, we could beat a UCF, we could beat a Cincinnati. Honestly, I think Houston's got us at this point. But K-State, by the K-State point, we should have Haas back. And if we have Haas, I think we can win that K-State game.
See, if you're saying we can beat K-State but not Houston,
K-State's looked worse to start the year.
but they
Wayman's actually looked pretty good to start the year.
He has.
Connor, I never can believe Connor again after what he did at A&M. So
Well,
Do it, A&M.
terrible.
Huh?
Marcel Reed took his job.
Oh, you're saying Connor, bro. I got so confused.
Connor Wegman.
It's like, why can't
I
What
thought
hot
you
take
were
did I
talking
make
about
about
him, too.
A&M?
I thought you were talking about him, too.
Okay, no, Connor Wayman. Yes. No, he did terrible at A&M, but I mean, he looks at least above average at Houston. Well, any other thoughts? What do y'all got with Gundy, with Oklahoma State football, or are we just
I think we should save it to the next show.
Ooh.
You
Little
crazy?
teaser.
Oh.
No. Because I want to talk about other college football.
Right now?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say at
Next
this point,
next
this show is
No,
done.
next
We've
show.
gone over.
Next show we may do. We could do an entirely college football.
I was gonna say we might.
Thank you. That's what I've been asking
Is that
for.
what the viewers want?
I've been asking for 2 years to do a whole college football show.
Because we were supposed to have 3 segments on college football.
We could
but
do a
missed
whole
today.
half on the Mike Gundy situation.
Okay, next week, you heard it here, folks. We're going to still do NFL for the first 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, any segments or anything we have will all be college football related.
Yes.
You get your wish.
But for now, that's all we have for I was about to say Oklahoma State football. I'm all over the place. I'm still thinking about what's happening with Gundy. But for now...
We're your best place for breaking news, though. I mean,
the fact if you watch this in the first hour of it being released, which will be next hour, we may break the news to you. After that, you probably heard it somewhere else. But that is all for this week's episode of We Know Ball, and we'll see y'all next week.